Hey Star Wars fans, my name is Prince and I am an urban acolyte. And in this video I'm going to continue with the spotlight on characters in Star Wars Rogue One. In this video we're going to be talking about K-2SO. But before I get to the character spotlight, I just want to say rest in peace to actor Kenny Baker. If you didn't know, Kenny Baker was the actor who originally played R2-D2 in the original trilogy. He was inside the suit, so we never actually saw him, but he was the one who was doing the walking motions and whatnot for the original R2-D2 model. So to Kenny Baker, the Force will be with you always. And my condolences go out to your family, especially his nephew who found him unresponsive this morning. And it's really interesting how droids have been so important to the Star Wars saga and even to the spin-off movies. So if you think about it, in the original trilogy, actually even in the prequels, we were introduced to R2 and eventually C-3PO. They're the first people we really see in the original trilogy. And then with The Force Awakens, we're introduced to BB-8. And now with this new Star Wars spin-off story, we are being introduced to K-2SO. So this information that I'm going to give you on K-2SO is coming from Anthony Breznican's article over on the Entertainment Weekly website. And I'll totally put a link to the article down below if you want to check that out, along with the other articles that he's written this week on Star Wars Rogue One. So before being drawn into the rebellion, K-2SO served a different master. He was a security droid in the Empire, and they sort of enforce whatever needs to be enforced. K2 units are imposing. They're 7'1" and follow orders pretty well. They detain people. They stand guard, and if somebody doesn't mind them, well, they'll enforce the shit out of them. At some point, K2's core was reprogrammed by Diego Luna's character, Rebel Captain Cassian Andor, who cleared the droid's databanks of Imperial programming and allowed him to break free of the service to the galactic dictatorship. Their friendship goes back long before the start of Rogue One. They've been around. They've been together for a while, maybe for a couple of years. He wants what Cassian wants. He loves Cassian because Cassian freed him. And it's also more paternal in that Cassian gave him life and took away the bonds of his programming under the Empire. You might consider Cassian and K2's relationship to be similar to Han Solo and his Wookiee co-pilot Chewbacca, especially since Rogue One director Gareth Edwards previously described K2 as a little bit like Chewbacca's personality, but in a droid's body. And that comparison is based on both K2 and Chewie being blunt, big, intimidating, and in the case of our favorite Wookiee, not afraid to roar his mind. Alan Tudyk, the actor playing K2, says that K2 has no filter. He can say whatever he wants. He can say insulting things very casually if he thinks they're true. And at one point, I think during Star Wars Celebration, Alan Tudyk said that K2 was kind of like that little kid who just doesn't know what's appropriate and what's inappropriate, and like that really old person that just has no filter and they'll say whatever they want, even if it hurts your feelings. Alan Tudyk goes on to describe K2 as not being overly emotional. He's not like C-3PO at all, who's like a freaking neurotic mess. C-3PO is flappable, and K2 is much more in the unflappable category. And Tudyk described a scene from the film in which K2 encounters other K2 units who are still serving the Empire without question, without recourse, and without much hope. And he says it's a bittersweet moment for a droid who doesn't feel that sort of thing. He says you do meet other K2 units and they don't have as much free will. We see them and, well, you'll instantly notice the difference between K-2SO and those other K2 units who are still under Imperial programming. So I'm looking forward to seeing this K2 unit. I think that his character will bring some comedic value to a very serious movie, but it's not like comedic like, oh, well, this is going to be a big metal Jar Jar Binks but more the kind of comedy that you get from an HK unit from the Old Republic games, where it's like, question, Master, should I slay the meatbags now? Statement, Master, I really want to slay some meatbags. So with all that being said, I'd like to hear from you. What would you like to see from this K2 character? Would you like to see an Easter egg where maybe they give him a line that we would hear from an HK unit from the Old Republic? And I don't know if Gareth Edwards has played the Old Republic games at all, but he says he's a huge Star Wars fan, so I mean, it's not out of the question. What do you guys think? Anyway, let me know your thoughts down below, and I'll be looking forward to seeing what you guys have to say. So if you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and click on that subscribe button so that you can take your first steps towards becoming an urban acolyte. This is Vlogist, so I am uploading videos 7 days a week. If I happen to go one day without a video, well then that means there'll be more than one video uploaded within the next 24-hour period. And I'm hoping to keep this thing going. So tomorrow is Sunday. I'm probably going to answer a fan question to kind of give myself a break from doing these Rogue One character profiles. That video may actually be on a Rogue One character. And then of course I'll be posting a Star Wars Rebels review on tomorrow. So make sure to check back tomorrow for those videos. Anyway, that's all I've got for now. Thanks for watching. Y'all keep on breathing, and may the Force be with you. Always.